This is a Pendix battery and it's so fucking weird it deserves a video. First of all, it's a tube, water bottle kind of thingy, but it's done by BMZ in Germany. Everything is just super weird. I had a lot of problems opening it up at first because of this tube. There are a few screws in the bottom, but I couldn't do anything more because I don't know what it looked like. It's not screws, it's not adhesive, it's just two small rubber lists, one here and one in the bottom, and they are the only thing keeping this battery pack inside this tube. It has this plate in the bottom that you have to remove, and that's the only thing you can remove with the screws, and then you have to use a little bit of force to pop it up. I just inserted a screwdriver here. No, you don't. Screw jammer here, trying to jam it up a little bit and managed to get it all the way out. This one also has one of the weirdest battery features I have seen. This is the thing that's so special with the Pendix battery. You can choose the level of assistance on the battery pack. Eco, Smart, Sport. It's just so weird. This is something you do on the e-bike on the controller. It's like you have to go to the bathroom to restart your computer. It's this kind of what the fuck? And how do they do this? Because of course the battery can only give power, it cannot control power. It has a Rosenberg connector with 6 pins, 2 for discharge and charge, and 2 is probably for on-off, and 2 is probably for data. So it's not the battery controlling the level of assistance, it's sending the signal to the controller, because what the fuck, it looks good. It's something no other brand has, and then you have to have it. It's this kind of idiotic thing that can easily break. Of course it's cool, but this is not how you build good batteries, by overcomplicated stupid design that looks cool in 3D. I'm talking to you, Bionex and BMZ. They're not that good. Do you remember this time when you didn't use BMSs in your batteries, BMZ? Yeah, I'm pretty sure you have forgotten about those old batteries, did ya? Nah? Yeah, they're very big, but they're not very good. They're good at making complex, good-looking battery packs with stupid design that's not made to last. So if you want a cool battery pack, cool looking expensive battery pack that is difficult to manufacture and repair, then you should contact BMZ. Okay, we're a little bit further in to the pack, removing the heat shrink tubing, and here we can see custom made 18650 holders in 3 rows with a large, I don't think it's heat sink. It's just to keep the battery in place and connect the top part to the bottom part. But yeah, the bottom part is also connected to the outer screws that connect the outer plates. So this is why it's loose. You can see it's LG cells. And here you have the BMS circular one, most likely specially made for this pack, and some adhesive and tape. Well, the whole battery pack is down to 3.9 volts. So that's probably the reason why you can't charge it or even turn it on. But strange thing is that the wall fuse keeps blowing up when he enters the charger into the battery pack. So there might be some other kind of damage, short circuit, that maybe ended this battery's life. I tried removing the GST from the BMS, but they use such a small kind of GST. You can see it's smallest I've ever seen, so it broke in the middle. I did a little further digging, and here you can see under the tape adhesive there are some burn marks, and this wire looks a little bit burned. Fancy looking, but not really my kind of battery. Impossible to repair, extremely expensive to build, and just so many small things that can easily break. I'm not impressed, but it was fun. Now I know how not to do it. Thank you, BMZ. It looks like a spaceship or water tower or something turned upside down. You have a 5-pin cable going from the built-in on-off button and selector, what you're gonna call it. Here is a close-up of the custom-made BMS with the extremely small GST that broke. 2 temp sensors, one that I cut off. And they have these weird things as in on another battery pack. They're not soldered on, they're not spot welded on. I believe they're using this strange technique with frequencies, metal holders onto the BMS that they can screw onto the wires for charging and discharging. And on another battery pack I've seen this kind of method wasn't that stable because they have loosened, and as you can see they're pretty large and they're unisolated, so they had contact with each other and short circuit the battery pack and the BMS and a lot of the stuff inside. In this case they are still connected to the BMS plate, and they seem to be connected pretty good compared to the other battery. I can't just remove them with the force of my finger, so that's probably acceptable. And here's the 4-pin connector that goes to the Rosenberg, 4 wires, charging and discharging as well. This battery is from 2016 according to the cells, and a battery pack should last more than 2 years even if you use it daily. And as you can see they're using some kind of nagellack nail polish, which I think is this band anti-flare protection for circuit boards. It could be some legal kind, but only 2 MOSFETs. That's you have another small one on the bottom. Well, no matter how many millions you spend on building extremely overcomplicated batteries, doing it the right way is not that hard. Why do you need to make it so complicated? Why the fuck would you need to want it in a water bottle? It's not that cool looking. They're like, wow, this guy has a black water bottle on his bike, he must be super rich or something. Nobody wants these ugly motherfucking water bottles. Remember when seeing these connections, I had another battery in here from a big European vendor. Extremely expensive battery pack, also using Rosenberg, also manufactured by BMZ. I managed to take it apart. It was almost as difficult as this one. I managed to replace all the cells and connect the BMS. But do you know what the motherfucking BMS did then? It started killing off the cells. The balancing function went haywire. Instead of balancing them to a cool 4.15, it started draining them down to 0. And I did not notice that. It had been going on for a few days, and it had completely killed at least 3 of the cell blocks. I found it started nagging on the 7th. I had no other option than to completely disassemble the pack, because the BMS went kamikaze, killing the battery from the inside. And I believe this might be doing the same thing, because maybe one of the cell blocks is still 3.9 volts. So it probably have killed off every single one of these cell blocks and was just about to eat up the remaining cells. But I managed to save these last poor cells, hopefully.